Okay, testing the microphone. That works. Okay. Since it is we're 2 minutes to noon, I'm going to do my regular announcement that I do at the beginning of every video, which you all know by now, but it's part of the rundown. So it's me, Johnny from Roller Derby Athletics. I'll say that again. And we will start in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to start my music over here on this end in just a moment. As a reminder to anyone participating or anybody who watches this later, we are going to be recording this and uploading it to the YouTube. So if you do not want to be seen, just turn off your camera and please mute yourself. But we all know that. So, all right, let me cue this up. It's just about that time to start. So, I'm going to tell you what we got going on. All right, so yes, again, it is Johnny from Roller Derby Athletics. We are going to get in a total body workout today. It might feel like it's going by pretty quickly, so if we have some extra time at the end, we'll devote that to some core and stretching. But our main focus today will be total body. We have some HIIT mixed in there. We're working the legs, we're working the upper body, we're getting the core. It's going to be strength, it's going to be endurance, it's going to be all that good stuff. So we're going to start with somewhat of a warm up and then a main stretch, and then we'll go into our HIIT, which is from our program's workout called HIIT Clutch Performance Intense. And it is as intense as you want to make it. So before we get to the intense part, we're going to do our little warm up that I mentioned. It's going to be good mornings and squats. We're doing each of these movements one time through, but for 20 reps. So for the good mornings, what we're doing with those is you are going to have your feet about hip width apart, and this is kind of mimicking a deadlift type of movement where you're stretching out the hamstrings and feeling the pull from the glutes all the way down. So I want you to do this movement here where you're kind of sliding your hands down towards your knees, down your thighs, and hinging your hips. So this is the movement that we're going to do. All right, so let's go ahead and do 20 of those. Try and hang with me. I'm just going to count them out. Let's do it. Here's 1, 2. We don't want to go too slow, but just slow enough to feel it. This is 3. You can go a little bit lower, that's fine. This is 4. Don't let those knees go in. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just changing the angle so you can see. 9. Really digging with those heels. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, almost there. 15, 16, 17, feel that squeeze back here. 18, 19, give me one more. And 20. That should stretch and loosen up the backside of the legs there. So even though I kept my knees kind of soft, all right, I had to check something there. Even though I was keeping my knees soft, I still wanted to hinge with the hips. So it's not so much of a squat. Now we are going to go into a squat. So the difference between doing this, even though my knees are bent, and this is my back, my full torso, how I'm hinging the glutes behind me. So with our regular squats, what I want you to focus on here is, again, we are keeping the feet about hip width apart, maybe a bit wider if that's more stable for you. Your toes are pointing forward, kneecaps are right over the toes, and you are just keeping a nice upward braced core the whole time. So let me give you kind of a side view here. Doing this, you never want your back to round forward. You don't want to pop it out too much. Just think of a nice stiff core here. So let's go ahead and do 20 of those. Go as far down as you personally can. All right, let's get ready and begin. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, woo, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good way to get a nice pace there, a little 1-2 count. Feel every drop and every squeeze. Good job. So that's kind of our warm-up, our starter. Let's do a quick stretch. Typically, I like to start from the head all the way down, but because we started with a lower body warm-up, we'll do a stretch with the legs up. So let's do some leg swings, just to loosen up the hips a little bit and a bit of the glutes. So let's just do 8 on each leg. So if you need an upright, grab for it, or keep your hands on your hips. We're just swinging for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, cool. If you don't have a lot of space, they don't have to be super big swings, kind of like my situation, but just get it, swing just enough to where you feel that pull down the legs. All right, so now let's do some torso twists, just to kind of loosen up the main part of the body here, that spine. All right, so let's just do 10 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Now let's windmill the arms. So usually I say we'll roll the shoulders or whatever. Rolling the shoulders or windmilling the arms are basically the same. This will give you just a little bit more stretch all the way down, kind of lengthen out all the tightness, the biceps and triceps. So let's do this for 10 in each direction, okay? So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's bring it forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And here's one I usually do at the end, but I feel like we could, benefit from it today. Just kind of open and closing of the arms, kind of doing that hug yourself motion for 10. All right, so this is a good active stretch. So just follow along. Here we go. Open wide and close. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. That's a great way to release the chest and also roll forward the shoulders, kind of loosen up where the scapulas are. So we should be good to go. If you need to stretch a little extra, that's fine. We'll try and save some time towards the end to do some more static stretching. All right. So like I said, we're starting with our hip portion today. We're going to do a longer segment to start with that we're just going to do for 1 round, and then the rest will be about 2 to 3 sets as we go. So this first one is going to be a minute-long walking lunge with twist. All right, so let me see if I can do this properly. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty, just follow along as best you can. So for a minute, this is what we're aiming for. Walking lunges, split squats or jump squats, jump lunges, whatever you want to call them. This is similar to that, where the idea is that we don't want the knees to cave in. We want to keep them nice and squared up with our hips. We want to create good 90-degree angles with our knees and not lean too far forward over the toe. So if you have a small amount of space like I do, you can do just a few steps forward and then turn around, or you go as far as you feel like you can. But ideally, this movement is going to look like this with a little twist at the end. So I'm lunging and I'm twisting. I'm lunging and I'm twisting. So you're kind of reaching towards that back foot, that back heel, to get a little rotation in the core there. Get some oblique work, but also stretch out the core or the spine some more. So again, for me, it's more so just going to be back and forth, but go as far as you can within the minute. Okay, so let's get ready. It's our starting movement. Get in your position and begin. So I'm lunging forward and I'm reaching. I'm lunging forward. I don't have a lot of space, I have to correct, and I'm reaching. All right, I'm turning around. Lunge and reach. Going off screen here. I'm lunging and I'm reaching. I'll try it this way where I'm walking towards you, but keep doing it even though I'm talking you through it. So I'm lunging and I'm reaching for that foot. I'm coming a little close to you here. I'm lunging and I'm reaching, turning it around. Lunge, reach, woo, lunge, reach. We are halfway there just about. When you have a small amount of space, you got to get creative. So you can also swap that out for just a stationary forward stepping lunge. So if you're already doing your lunge walk, go ahead. I'm going to swap it out for that forward stepping lunge. I'm still adding in a reach. Now I'm going to the other leg and reach. We only got a few seconds. And there's a timer. Good job. Way to keep that core sturdy, the hips squared up. Good work there. All right. So now we're going into the main portion. We have a minute of rest before we go into that. So I'm going to tell you with this little break that we have what this first portion is going to be. It's 2 movements, but we're going to do them 3 times through, right? So it's going to be burpees, and then that's going to be followed by jumping jacks, both that we've done before. I'll demonstrate them so you know what the form is that we're going for. And these are all going to be timed. This is where the hit portion comes in. So these will be 30 seconds each. So for our burpees, as a refresher for anyone who's new to it or hasn't worked out with me before, I want you to kind of load up into a good squat position and reach up as you jump. I know it went out of screen there, but imagine my arms are up like this. And then when I come back down, I'm kind of sprawling and going into a push-up. Now, a good push-up is going to have your hands slightly outside the shoulders with a nice bend kind of at a 45-degree angle and lead with the chest. So that's what our burpees are going to be. For a jumping jack, we know what these are, but just a regular old reaching and getting a soft land. I especially want to get a soft land since I'm in a small amount of space. So do your best with those. But break time is over. Workout time is now. Here's our first round. We're going to start with those burpees. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm loading up. I'm reaching, coming down, and push. Just repeat from here. Woo. I'll try and give you different angles so that you can see what I'm doing. But this should allow you to see the total movement with the space that I have that I'm working in. So I'm going to face you a little bit more, reach up. Now I'm going a little bit slower to kind of walk you through it, but I want you to go as fast and efficiently as you can while you're following along. You really want to sweat. Whew. Likewise, if you need to slow it down a bit, whew, and done. If you need to slow it down a bit, that's okay too. All right, let's get ready for those jumping jacks. Woo, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just jumping in place. Getting those feet as wide out as you can. Getting those arms as wide out as you can. Getting that heart rate up. We're just working up a sweat, that's all. Now for me, and for those of you that might need to adjust this, there's a way to, because my knee feels a little wonky from this. So if you need to kind of slow it down and step out to the side like this, perfectly fine. And done. Look how fast that was. All right, so now we get a minute-long break. We're gonna try and go a little harder this next time through. Push yourself a little bit more, and I'm talking to myself as well. So now that we've talked through the movements, and as we go, I'll try and give you some alternatives and give you some insights, but now that I've talked through the main portion of it, we are going to just go all out. All right, take a few more seconds. We're halfway through our break. So at this point, or really at any point, if you need to get some water, especially during our longer breaks, please do. Water, cool down for a moment if you get overheated. If you need to stretch something out, this is a good reminder for that. Let's take about 15 more seconds. Woo-wee. All right, let's get back into position for our burpees. All right, we're on our feet. Let's start that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got the timer going. Pop up and down. I'll face you this time so you can see my shoulders and the width of my hands. So try and show you that there. See how my elbows are going out? Like that. Do your best. Now, if your push-ups are kind of shallow and you don't quite have the strength yet, to go all the way down or too far down, that's okay. Do your best. One more, and done. All right. Let's go right into those jumping jacks, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. So at some point, I may primarily, just the whole way through, for the whole 30 seconds, do this slow down step out. But for now, I'm going to try and hang in there, hold on to my knee strength, whew, and just do it this way, the full range way. But we got 10 more seconds. Try not to run into anything like that. Whew. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Get another minute. All right. Whew. Doing good. And this is just the first major section. So, to give you a little preview for the other movements that we have in our HIIT section today, we're going to move on to some skater strides. We've done those. We're going to do lunge jumps. I mentioned those. We will come back to some jumping jacks again. And then we have some squat jumps. All right, that's only halfway through. Let's take 30 more seconds of our break. Really cool down. And for the last portion of that, we're going to have mountain climbers to get a little bit of core in there. And then some frog jumps to kind of work on your speed, agility, and kind of your creativity to work within a small space, because I'm going to have to do that. All right. Here's our last round through with the burpees and the jumping jacks. Let's start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Burpees. Load up. Come down. Push. Really push yourself. Do the best you can. Woo! Biggest thing is your form first. Form first, and then push yourself to be agile and quick. Whew. I'm getting tired already, but we got one more pop-up and done. Go ahead and finish that push-up if you didn't. All right, now let's do our last round of jumping jacks, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Whew. Just 30 seconds of this left. And we get a longer break, and then go into the next section. Whew. You couldn't tell, I already did a little bit of leg work today, so I'm tired, but you just gotta push through. We got 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Good job. Okay, let's take a little minute before we go into section number 2 or 3, depending on how you think about it. So this will be our next 2 movements that are superset together. It's going to be skater strides and lunge jumps. So lunge jumps, well, let's talk about the skater strides first. That's where we're in place and kind of doing a bit of that shuffle. So it's like doing skater jumps or skater leaps, except now you're kind of shuffling like you dance a little bit, that chest is up, and you're kind of going side to side like this, right? But you're pushing yourself to go as quick and efficiently with good balance as you can. And then, of course, our lunge jumps is going to be exactly what it sounds like. Nice long stride into a lunge. So you're going from here to here. Now see how my knee automatically wants to go over the toe? That's why we need to make the stride pretty wide, pretty big, because you don't want that. And you're just kind of popping in between. Now, if you're starting to get tired, or if you have weak knees or a pre-existing condition that allows you to, or doesn't allow you to move that efficiently, you can just make it back-stepping lunges, kind of slow it down. All right. So with that said, break time is over. We got those skater strides for 30 seconds. So get into your position and begin. Side to side, quick as I can, just like I'm skating, just like I'm on the track. So that means you want to get a nice side view here. I'm kind of in actual skater position. Chest is up, back is flat. I'm not letting my shoulders roll forward. I'm keeping the glutes tight. I'm trying to stay skewered, right? Because I want to be balanced. So think about that as we go. Whew. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, now we got those lunge jumps. Let's get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. 30 seconds of this. Try and give you a good angle so that you can see my movements from the side and from the front. Again, don't let those knees cave in. Whew. Try not to let those ankles get a little wonky too. Focus on your balance. So here's me from the front, right? Take it as slow as you need to or as fast as you can go. Challenge yourself. We have 5 seconds left. And done. All right. You get a minute of break, then we have 2 more rounds of that. Woo. Take some deep breaths. So during breaks, I always talk about hydrating, cooling down a bit if you need to. But it's always good to remember to breathe, because if you're me anyways, you get so caught up in the movements that you're like holding your breath, or you're focusing on so many other things. And, not only do you need to remember some healthy breathing while you're doing the movements, but also when you have a break, get that oxygen. That break time is really to just kind of get that oxygen flowing back through you. All right, so we're halfway through our break time. We got about 12 seconds left until we start back up. I mean, skater strides is the first one we're gonna do. So let's get ready for that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, strides. Staying strong, going fast, quick feet. So this is great for both blockers and jammers. But I feel like as a jammer myself, this is beneficial because anytime I'm trying to dance around a wall, trying to get through a hole on the line, that speed like this is what's going to help me. So think about how that's going to benefit you when you go back to skating. All right, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, shake it out real quick if you need to. We've got lunge jumps starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Remember, nice wide, long strides. If you need to slow it down to work on that stability and that form, kind of like what I'm doing, that's okay. Just give it your best. Woo. 10 seconds left, that's all we got, and then 1 minute break. Doing it. Whew. 3, 2, 1, and done. There it is. There's that alarm. Take a minute again. Now I'm going to take this break time, this minute, stretch it out a bit. Whew. When we're pushing ourselves to go super intense like this for small intervals of time, easy to kind of cramp up or to get sore very quickly. So even though I like to do more static stretches after all the activity's done, a little bit of that, holding that to release any tension is good too. Try and keep active stretches while you're in the middle of your workout, but ideally, just listen to your body and do what feels right. All right, we got about 15 more seconds. Whew, this is already round number 3, isn't it? Look at that, time is blowing by. All right, so come to your feet, skater strides starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. We're in place. Chest is up because we don't look down at our feet. We don't want to hurt the neck or hurt the shoulders, and we want to see where we're going. So look ahead. Chest is up. Shoulders are back. Push ourselves to go fast. Make this last one your best. So I should be making this my best too. I'm going to try and go faster. Stay low, just like in derby. If you think you're low, you're not low enough. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Good job. All right, get ready for it. Last time with our lunge jumps. Woo, I'm out of breath already. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kick it. Woo. Long stride. You might be sore by the end of all this today, but that means that you get to make up for it with that relaxation time. You get to treat yourself. And as we are recording this today, it's Christmas Eve. So it means that whatever your favorite holiday dessert is, if you have one, You really earned it. Done. All right. Take at least a minute of a break. Catch our breath. Okay. So we got that section finished. Now we got squat jumps and jumping jacks on deck. So we did our jumping jacks already. That's gonna be our second movement. Easy peasy, we got that. Squat jumps, also pretty easy peasy. You know, those of you who are tuning into this, you probably already know what those are. But again, to show you the form that we here today in this program are gonna go for, I'll show you. It's kind of like this squat that we did for the warm-up. So same kind of form. Feet hip width apart or slightly wider. You want to make sure that this offers you the stability to load up. Don't let those knees go in. Mine wobble a little bit. Don't let those knees go in. But you want to load up and get a nice pop up. So kind of like a frog almost, right? You don't have to go super high. I want you to go only as high as you can and squat only as low as your joints will allow. But that's it. And we're just going to repeat that for 30 seconds. So let's get ready. We've got 30 seconds of squat jumps, 30 seconds of jumping jacks. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, squat jumps. Woo. Try and land softly. As you land, don't let those knees bow in or out. We're still focusing on that invisible line between the toes and the knees. Like you got a piece of tape right here. All right, feel this in the glutes. And again, try not to let your back round forward or pop it out too much. Tight core, tight glutes. And done. All right, jumping jacks. Now I'm going to start out with the lower intensity version of the jumping jacks, but you know what to do. I want you to do what feels good and is challenging for you. So let's get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jumping jacks. Okay, stepping out, side to side. Now, even though I'm kind of doing the slower version of this, or the less intense version of this, still trying to push myself to go as quickly and efficiently as I can. Whew. But yeah, like I said, if you've had any leg injuries or maybe your knee or ankle joints are kind of wonky right now, this is good for that. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, 1 minute break. Woo. So my hammies are starting to feel a little bit tight. Maybe your hamstrings are, your quads are. Like I said, we'll do some stretching for those towards the end. But in between movements, what I like to do is just get a quick, I know you can't really see my leg, get a quick leg extension and reach across for it. Same arm on the same side is fine too, but I feel like I get a much longer extension, longer reach this way. So it's just a casual little stretch to do if you're starting to feel tight there as well. But we're getting ready to get back into our second round of that. We got about 15 seconds left. So finish cooling down a little bit, finish breathing. We're gonna get back to those squat jumps in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're kicking it. Up, up, soft landing. When I say soft landing, not only does that mean keeping your knees in the proper posture, but we don't want to slam too hard down. This is also relevant to when we skate, because we don't want that shock to jostle us when we jump around. Kind of land on the balls of your feet and then flatten your feet. And then when you go into that squat to load up, you are driving with the heels. 3, 2, 1, and done. Good job. All right, jumping jacks. I'm still going to do the broken down, slow down version of this for now anyways. But let's get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now to the side, I'm going quick. Keeping that heart rate up. No matter if you're doing a regression, a progression of a movement, make it your best. We want to sweat. We want to get that heart rate up. We're working on that endurance. It's not just about calorie burning. It's not just about building muscles. It's about functionality. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. Take a minute to rest. Then we have one more time with those two movements. But yes, we're focusing on functional movements here. Yes, we are training for, whatever type of skating you're going to go back to. If you're only doing derby, if you're doing derby and outdoor skating, or maybe if you play other sports outside of that, this is going to help you keep that good heart health so they can stay on top of your game, but also give you good posture, good movements through your kinetic chain so that you don't hurt yourself. We want to keep those joints healthy and ready to go, ready to like move at any quick notice. It keeps you fluid. So it covers all those things. I mean, yes, you are, this is great if you're trying to lose weight or if you're trying to build muscle mass, but it's also good for everyday movements. All right, but let's get ready. We have our last time through squat jumps starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick it. Here we go. Boom. I'll face you this time. Woo. That way I can also make sure my knees have that good form. And I am feeling that burn in the booty and the hammies, a little bit in the calves too. 15 seconds left. Good job. Breathe in and out. A few more seconds, 5 seconds in fact. Woo. Stick with it. 3, 2, 1, and down and done. Good. All right. Few seconds. We got those jumping jacks. All right. I'm going to push myself to go full range with this. Woo. Take a deep breath in. And we'll begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jumping jacks. Boom. Boom. Got it. Yes. I know maybe I'm going out of frame, but you can see I'm really reaching my arms high up as I can. I'm getting that nice wide stance. More importantly, landing with the balls of my feet, get a nice soft landing, and I'm just pushing through, keeping my heart rate up. Woo. My computer might be wobbling because of how hard I'm jumping. And done. Woo. All right, we get a break. Sorry, 3. My gosh, it's pretty good. So we have one more little section in that left. It's going to be slightly lower impact, not by much. It'll still be challenging, but again, it's focusing on your core and kind of your smaller movements. Whew, good news is we're halfway through the whole workout for today, so pat yourself on the back for that. Whew, look forward to that relaxation time that I mentioned. Okay, so while we still have halfway of our minute-long break left, or a little bit more if you need it. If you need to really recover a little bit longer, you're feeling woozy, do that. So don't let me stop you. But while we are taking this break, let's talk about the mountain climbers. Okay, again, these are going to be timed 30-second mountain climbers, 30-second, frog jumps. With the mountain climbers, the form is this. Now, sometimes people can be on their elbows if the stability for that is better for your wrists or shoulders. But ideally, we're here, and we're just bringing the knee to the elbow on the same side, right? Now, if you want to make it a little spicy, make it interesting, you can kind of cross it. That gives you a little bit more oblique work. But either way, I want you to really hold yourself up and keep your core tight. Tuck your pelvis forward. Squeeze those glutes so that you're flat like a board, okay? We don't want to pike up, and we don't want our hips to kind of like sink into the ground. So that's going to be the first movement with our mountain climbers, right? And the frog jumps, we haven't done this together before. Whew, or the frog, like leapfrog. So again, I don't have very far to go, but again, if you do, even better. So we're just kind of leaping. It's exactly like that. A little leapfrog movement. I'm going to turn around and then just do some of that. Maybe it feels kind of goofy, but we're pushing ourselves to move as quickly and efficiently as we can. So that'll be only 30 seconds at a time. So bear with me. Maybe one day I'll have more space and we can make that look a little bit better. But let's go ahead and do this. We're only going to do this for 2 rounds this time, okay? And then we'll move on to our next major section. So let's get ready for those mountain climbers. 30 seconds is on the clock, and let's begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we are, driving those knees to my elbows. Let me show you my sideways view. So if you're not bringing the knee across, I want you to also focus on keeping your hips squared up. So that's going to help you keep that pelvis tucked forward. Whew, I'm feeling how challenging that is. Yeah, try not to let your hips rotate unless, again, you're doing that variation. We got 2, 1, and done. All right. Now we got our fun little silly movement, our little frog jumps. Whew. So let's get ready. We're in our frog position, kind of down on our knees, and begin. Just little leaps, like that. I'm gonna turn around, and I'm doing it going this way, going off screen. There I go. So if you have the knee stability, you can get low like this. But if you have kind of angry knees like I do, this is fine. Again, think about a tight core so that we're not hurting the lower back or rounding the shoulders too much forward, right? And done. Whew. Take a minute-long break. So, like I said, the frog jumps, I need to practice those more. You're like, why are we doing that? It's similar to when we do lizard planks, or if you've ever done like a lizard crawl or even bear crawls. It's being able to keep yourself small and tucked in while also moving quickly and efficiently. So think about that. Okay, if we're going to think about how that applies to skating, think about how you need to make your arms small so that you don't, clothesline somebody, or so that you don't get a multiplayer. You're moving small, and then if you're a jammer, you want to keep everything tucked in again so that you don't get caught, so that you don't give someone that chance to hit you. Thinking small is really helpful. All right, it's gonna give you good mobility in a way. All right, but let's do this for one last round. We're back in our mountain climber position. Woo. All right, let's get ready and begin. Here we are. Knee. Really squeeze that core, squeeze those glutes. You're flat like a board. Everything is feeling solid. I want you to really squeeze those abs to make that core, that back, that whole body nice and flat, like a straight line. Breathe through. We got 8 seconds left. Woo. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Take a deep breath in. And for any of this stuff, if you're starting to feel it in your shoulders, maybe you've got weak shoulders, like I have a bad shoulder here, take this moment to give it a quick roll out. We'll stretch those out at the end too. Okay, little frog jumps. Last time with this fun movement. All right, get ready and begin. Leaping forward. Turning it around. Whew. So it's exactly like what you would imagine, like kind of playing leapfrog with myself, right? And with this movement also, since we're in like a super squat pretty much, you feel this in the glutes and the hamstrings a lot too, which is not a bad thing. We got 5 seconds. Little leaps. Give me one more. And done. All right. A little bit of a longer break here. Our first major hit section is complete. All right. So take some deep breaths. Now, this is where I want us to start to focus more on core. Usually I save core for like the middle or the end of a routine, just because it's still a lot of burning. It's still a lot of concentrating, but it's a little lower impact. Because oftentimes, we're keeping ourselves still, or we're staying like kind of squared up in one position. So in a way, it's like a little bit of a break for the arms and legs, but you're still putting in hard work. So some of these core movements I want to start with are things that I wanted to do last time, and we had so much fun that we ran out of time for it. So what those movements are going to be is bicycle sit-ups or bicycle crunches. Then we're going to do side planks, and we've done variations of that. This is just going to be timed side planks, holding it in place. And then we have dead bugs. So because we don't have necessarily timed breaks in between these, I'm going to walk you through each one the first time through, and then as the rounds go, we're just going to go right into it. So I'm going to do 3 rounds of these 3 core exercises. So with our bicycle crunches or our bicycle sit-ups, whatever you like to call them, we're going to do 20 of them total. That means that each time you twist in both directions, or I go for my right knee and my left knee, that counts as one rep. So what we want to do, we're on our back, hands are by the ears or the back of the head, and I want you to really extend the unengaged leg as far as you can. Now, if it's here, that's fine. Down here is going to be more challenging, and really bring that elbow to the knee, not the knee to the elbow, because this is too easy, but this is going to make you feel it. All right, y'all ready? Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Follow along. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, oh my goodness, 19, 20. Boom. All right. What helped me a lot there was I kept my lower back very flat and pressed into the ground. That's really going to make you feel that. So good job on that. Now we have those side planks. We're going to do 20 seconds on each side. So kind of jog your memory on what that form is going to look like. Then come all the way back here. I don't want my legs too far in front of me or too far behind me. You're going to be zipped up in one straight line. So it's actually going to be at an angle here. So I'm one flat line, and I am holding myself up like this for the whole time duration. Now, you have the option to hold yourself up like this too, whatever feels better for the wrist and the shoulder, but I want you to keep your side from sagging down. Keep it nice and straight. We're zipped up. All right, so I'm going to be on my elbow. So let's get ready for it. Starting in 3, 2, 1. I'm up. Keep that side tucked up and in. Whew. So this is exactly what I was talking about in terms of holding something. It's being kind of lower impact, and that we're not moving around so much, but it's still pretty intense. Squeeze those abs. We got 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's hurry and switch to the other side. Whatever we do on the right, we gotta do on the left. Okay, let's start this in 3, 2, 1. Kick it. Whew. Try not to let anything rotate like this. Zipped up straight line. Obliques are engaged. The side is keeping it all up. This is nice and tight. The head and neck is in line with the rest of my spine as best as it can be. 3, 2, 1, and release. Good job. All right, dead bugs. Now, I don't do these as often as some of the other movements. You might know what these are, but to refresh your memory, because I always like to give a refresher, this is going to be 20 total, which also means that as we lift one leg and then the other, that counts as 1. But just follow along with me. So this is where, again, you're really flattening that lower back to the ground. Now, for me, I like keeping my hands kind of tucked in under me. I know you can't really see that. They're going under the small of my back or under my booty so that I stay pinned in. But the head, well, actually, I like to keep my head up. We're focusing on the lower abs. But the idea here is that I'm keeping my knees bent at a 90-degree angle, and I'm slowly tapping one down and tapping the other to count as 1 rep. You can put your head down as it gets sore, but keeping it up and the upper back rolled up will make it more challenging. And by doing this, you're feeling it here in the lower abs. So I'll try and give you the side view so you can see what I'm doing. So I'll count it out. Let's get ready. 20 total. And begin. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Feel that squeeze. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're getting there. 15, 16, 17, stay with it, 18, 19, oh my goodness, and 20, and done. All right, let's take a break. Let's take at least 30 seconds before we jump back in. So now that we've talked about each movement, our next 2 rounds, oh boy, our next 2 rounds are going to feel a little bit more fluid. I'll just say what we're doing and then we'll do it. But yeah, definitely take this time to breathe. All right, take about 10 more seconds. We're going to go back to those bicycle sit-ups for 20 total. I might go a little bit more slowly, slow, less slow, higher leg, lower leg, whatever's challenging for you, okay? So let's get in position and begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, halfway, this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Probably saw my movements were getting a little bit smaller. My legs weren't going as far out because it's all starting to get a little tired, but that's okay. Just push through the movement. Feel that burn. Okay, so we are back to our side planks, just holding it, isolating it. I'm going to start on my other side here, just for why not? And we're going to do 20 seconds on each side. So let's get ready and begin. Nice and tight, flat like a board. I'm imagining I'm just a cardboard cut out of myself. Whew. Already down to 10 seconds. It's not all that long. If you think about it being like, 2 little 10-second increments, it's not bad. 3, 2, 1, and release. All right. Other side. Let's begin. 3, 2, 1, begin. Zipped up. Imagining I'm a cardboard cutout or I'm zipping it up. I'm nice and tight. It's a good visual to help me through. We got 10 seconds left. We're already there. Woo-wee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. Dead bugs again. Take a deep breath in before we go right into it. And if you'll notice with our dead bugs, it's kind of similar to when we're doing those bicycle crunches. So these are similar movements, kind of being paired together in this section to really work your transverse or your twisting movements and get those lower abs. All right, but let's come down, nice flat lower back, 90-degree bend on the knees, and 20 to go. Here we go. 1, 2, keep it going. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, almost there, 19, 20. All right, let's take a little break. Whew, only a little bit more to go today. So apologies anytime I have to get up away from doing the movement with you, go check on the computer. Sometimes my camera or my computer wants to act a little funky. So I gotta make sure it's not messing up what we're doing. Otherwise, that would be even worse. But let's take at least 45 more seconds of a rest here. So we're going to do those 3 movements. I guess 4 if you're counting each side with a plank. We're going to do those one more time through, and then we should be able to cool down and stretch right after that. So think about how much we've already gotten done. That's pretty good. And you may think, oh, okay, well, you know, that went by fast. It didn't feel like it was all that much. I didn't use any weights. You don't have to use any weights or anything for it to be challenging. The idea here is that we're doing this at home, and you don't need a whole lot of equipment to get something really effective done. So I'm just trying to make it challenging enough for you without having to rely on anything else. But everyone's doing good, so whew. All right, that's about time. Let's get ready for that last round. I'm so sore. All right, bicycle crunches for 20. I'm going to do my best to really make this challenging. Do your best on this one too. Here we go. We're in position. In 3, 2, 1, begin. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, getting there, 14, really reach, 15, 16, 17, oh my goodness, 18, 19, and 20, and release. You need to lay back for a moment before we go into the next thing. That's fine, especially if you're feeling that burn here. I'm like, let me roll right up into a seated position. That's what's comfortable for me. You do you, though. All right, but let's go right into our side planks. I'm going to start on this side this time, just switch it up. All right, we got 20 seconds, so zip it up. Let's get ready and begin. Holding it here. So here's one thing I didn't mention while we're holding it. Obviously, you want your elbow or your hand, if you're using your hand, directly under that shoulder. So you're kind of getting a little extra shoulder and tricep work as well. But that's going to give you good form to keep the rest of this in line. And done. So I think naturally we all do that, but just in case you weren't sure, like, how far out is my arm? It's right under the shoulder. All right, other side, zip it up. Let's get ready and begin. Nice and tight. Looking forward. Nice. Flat cardboard. Whoa, cardboard cut out of yourself. Breathing so hard, I can't even talk. I know my analogies are kind of funny, but if that helps you figure out what your form is like, you're like, I get that, even better. We have 3, 2, 1, release. Already done. One more movement, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, dead bugs for 20. All right, here I am. Lower back right against the floor. Let's begin. 1, 2, nice and controlled. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, we're getting there. 16, keep it tight. 17, 18, 19, 20, and release. Roll up, lay back. Whatever feels good for you. All right, I'm gonna lower the music just a bit because we're gonna start to relax now. Good job on all that today. Let me back up a little bit so you can see more of me while we go through our stretch. We're just gonna take a quick minute or two to go through it. So like I said, at the end, you want to get a nice static stretch where you can really hold positions and let the muscles release. So from here, I was talking about doing some shoulders, you know, loosening up our shoulders. Let's do that. So I'm going to actually reach behind me. So I'm grabbing a hand behind my back, opening the chest and kind of rolling the shoulder blades into each other. Let's hold that here for 20 seconds. This feels really good. Just take relaxing breaths. We sit here and cool down, let that heart rate come down. All right, go ahead and release that. And from here, kind of mimicking that open and closed self hug from the beginning, take one arm, bring it across the chest, and feel that pull from the shoulder all the way down. We'll hold this for also 20 seconds. Now for me, I've mentioned this before, I like to kind of rotate my wrist, rotate that hand around, just because I feel like I'm getting an extra stretch on my forearm and a little bit on the tricep. You can do this as well if it feels helpful. Take about 10 more seconds here. All right, open that chest. Do the same thing with the other arm towards the other side for 20 seconds. All right, release that. And now let's work on the lower body here. I always like to go with a true classic of just stretching out the hamstrings, getting the lower back, and getting a full pull on everything by reaching towards the toes. So when we're just kind of reaching forward and hinging like this, we're definitely feeling it on the hamstrings. But if you really reach as far as you can and grab your ankles or your shins or whatever and pull, you'll feel a stretch in the lower back too. So you can do both. You can work both at the same time. So however you decide to do that, let's hold it here for 20 seconds. Feel that release through the whole body. All right, let's do a little extra moment here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, and as you exhale, see if you can reach further. If you can't quite reach your toes or your feet, see if this extra breath can help you go forward. Or just see if you can get a deeper pull. Go ahead and roll up once you've done that. Let's do one last stretch to kind of get the glutes. This is another favorite. Going to bring one leg across, kind of create a bit of a figure four. Tuck the elbow into that knee. Pull that leg up. Feel that stretch from the glutes all the way. Let's hold it here. All right, go ahead and release that. I'm going to turn my body this way so you can see me do the other side, the other leg, but also because I have more room going this way. So tuck in, feel that pull way down the leg. Now, obviously, if you're not super flexible, if you're still working on your mobility and this isn't easy for you, just do what you can as closely in this position that you can. So if it's just kind of crossing one leg over and pulling that leg, that's fine. I also have short legs, so that's part of why I can do what I can do. We're all a little bit different, but just really cool down and get a good stretch. That's all that matters. So let's take 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So if there was any stretching section that I skipped over, or maybe you're still feeling tight in some of the areas that we already stretched, please take the time to do so and hydrate a lot so that you don't feel super crunchy later. That's everything that I have for you today. So thank you for joining me, especially on a holiday. That was awesome. It was a great way to get me working out too. All right, so I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. All right, have a good one. I'll see you next week. Take care.